Hello, welcome to Intuitive Insights. I am your no BS woo coach, Megan McDonough. This week, I am bringing you a little insight. So I've been marinating on this a little bit lately, on the creative side and on the life side. And I wanted to share this with you today and then offer kind of a contemplative meditation for you to do whenever you want. Either with me today or save it and do it later. But today I wanted to talk to you about serving the process. So what the heck does that mean? Let me start back why I'm thinking of this. So as a creative, right, as an artist, actor, whatever, there is a process. And the process is not like math. It's not like the 2 + 2 = 4, the carousel at a theme park. And I have been to several theme parks this summer. So yes, this has also been on my mind because of that. It's more like a roller coaster, where there are times where it speeds up. There are times when it slows down, it curves, it scares the shit out of you. You want to quit. You're like, why the hell did I do this? And then you get done, and you're like, fuck yeah. Oh, pardon me. Oops. I dropped the F-bomb. But you're like, that was awesome. I want to do that again, right? Or, if it's not for you, if that life is not for you, you just get off the roller coaster and say, that was awesome. I'm never doing that again. It depends on, your path, right? Either you love that process of the roller coaster or you're more happy with the carousel. That line from Parenthood, if you saw that movie, where he's like, your mother's a genius, and he's like, well, why is she in someone else's car? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But she talks about some people like the roller coaster of life, some people like the carousel. So the creative process to me is more like the roller coaster. It starts off slow, and then you're like, what am I getting into? What have I gotten into? I'm in it now. And then halfway through, you're like, you go through the doubt phase. It's the chaos phase of all the feelings at once. And then you go through the doubt phase, like I should just stop, I should just forget it. I don't know what I'm doing. And then you come back to, wait, no, I got it. You have that aha moment. And then you move forward and you're like, this is it. And then you're done, right? And on to the next one. Because you are now like, cool, that was great. Now what? So here's the thing. I don't know how many times I've ridden the roller coaster in the creative process. And every single time it surprises me when I get to the doubt phase, when I get to the chaos phase. And the same goes for life. So the reason I bring this up is because I'm living in that doubt phase. And as I'm living in the doubt phase on some things, some parts of some things that are in process, my life included, I'm allowing the doubt to take over the doubt is the roller coaster instead of the roller coaster being the roller coaster. I hope that makes sense. Meaning the doubt is not the journey. The doubt is a part of the journey. It is a piece of the path. It's not the path. And it's hard to remember that when you're in it. So I was speaking with my yoga teacher the other day, and she reminded me, because I was like, one of my struggles has been, since I had kids, since I'm older, my body and I are like not connecting. You know what I mean? And I've always been very connected to my body. So since I've had kids and marriage and moving and all these things and getting older, and I said to her, because she has 2 girls, I said, what did your process look like when your kids were little? Because I know intellectually, practice is the word I meant to say for yoga. I know mentally my practice is not going to look the same now as it did when I was in my 20s, when I had all the time in the world and only myself to worry about, right? I'm my own person. But how did she do it, right? How did my guru do it? And she reminded me, now let me just go back. So I've been reminding others as I remind myself, what part of the process are you serving in your creative journey? So if you're living in doubt, that's just part of the process. Keep going. If you're living in the chaos of all these ideas and whatever, it's part of the process. Keep going. Let it marinate. The aha moment will kind of rise to the top. And then you'll see the vision moving forward. So it's easy to see for other people, right? Not so much yourself. But if you remember that you're on the journey, and the journey is always different, yet has the same components, you can remember what part of the component am I serving now and lean into it, theoretically. So I was asking her about the practice. And she reminded me about the ashrams, the 4 ashrams in Indian philosophy. And those are kind of equivalent to the stages of life. And what your dharma is in each stage of life, how you are serving the particular stage of life that you're in, or the piece of the roller coaster, right? You can even go as far as to say, which roller coaster are you serving? So there's brahmacharya, and I'm probably going to screw these up because I always get very nervous about my Indian pronunciations, but grasha, vanaprastya, and sannyasi. So brahmacharya is when you're the student, and that's your character development, your student development, when you're learning from your mentors, when you're learning in life, right? The grasha, and of course, again, nervous about that pronunciation. Please hit me up and let me know how to pronounce it. I'm pronouncing it wrong. But that's the householder. That's when you're raising your children. You're out in the world. You're making money, doing all the regular things that people do when they have a house and children, and you're serving others. You're serving your job. You're serving the country with paying taxes. You're serving a lot of people around you, and you're engaged in the world. Then the next one is vanaprastya, that's when you retire, right? So you're kind of, in a way, I don't know, working on hobbies, pulling the energy back to yourself, right? And nurturing yourself. If you choose to go to the next phase or just stay there, the next phase is sannyasi, which is renunciate, which is hard. That's when, if you're a guru, you go into the mountains and you just pray for years on end, or months on end, or whatever. You kind of give up everything and just, dedicate yourself to prayer and spirituality. So she reminded me I'm in the householder phase. And she reminded me she shared with me that when she was in that phase, it did look different. Her traditional practice of asana, which is an eighth, remind you of the entire product of yoga, which is, 8 parts, the Ashtanga, but 8 limbs. So she reminded me that I'm in that householder phase. And the one thing that she said, asana, maybe when she could, every other day or whenever. But her prayers, she never gave up. And prayers meaning her connection to source, her connection to God, right? So she always made time for the connection to source. But the physical practices may or may not be there according to what was going on during the day, and with the family and with the kids and how she was serving it. So it made me think about relationships to service, my relationship to service. And there is a saying that how you do one thing is how you do all things. So what is my relationship to service? And what am I of service to currently by external sources, right? I have children, so I'm of service to them. Citizen of a country, so I have to be of service, paying my taxes, that kind of thing. I'm a creator. How am I of service to that part of myself? So the creative process has stages as well as the energetic process as well. So the creative process, here are 5 elements of the creative process that are preparation, incubation. So preparation is all your research. The incubation is kind of letting everything marinate in your subconscious. And then insight, that aha moment where everything starts to come together. The inubation. So this is, what does that say? What the hell did I write down? And oh my God, I can't even read my writing. No, I don't even know what it is. So, evaluation. I can't remember. Right. It's so sad. Evaluation. So sad. So that's when you assess everything, right? So you take all the pieces and you assess them after your aha moment, and then the elaboration on your ideas. So aha moment, pull everything together, get your focus, and then elaborate on your focus. If that wasn't like an ADD thing, I can't even tell you. Okay. And then there's the energy process. So, and I use the law of thermodynamics a lot. I know the law of thermodynamics is specifically energy and quantum physics energy and all that, and it relates to heat and mechanics. But I find that there are stages of it that resonate in the creative process as well, which are initially the resonance, energetic resonance with something. And how I see that is that you're able to hear it. You're able to see it on an energetic level. And then once you see it, because energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be transmuted. You go through the process of transmuting, which looks like chaos at first, right? Everything kind of goes everywhere. What is this? How do I have all these ideas. How do I move them together? So you kind of erupt the piece into many bits of energy, and then you pull it back into one focal energy, and that is the transmutation. And again, a new form of resonance in a different shape or form. So having said all this, what I started to meditate on was, what is my relationship to service? How do I view being of service? And for me, the answer was, I'm not in control. It makes me like a little hesitant and angry because I'm not in control. And then, of course, the higher mind steps in and says, but you're not in control. Like of anything. That's an illusion. Control is an illusion, right? So then I look at it again and say, if I wasn't in control and know that I am not in control, what is my relationship with service? And how can I be of service to the stage in my life, to others around me, and to my creativity? And if I look at it in that frame, what came up for me was, if I'm not in control, and all I'm doing is being of service to creative idea, people around me, my environment, my soul that craves to create, then it's not me creating. It almost like takes the ego out. There's no more I did this. It's that I'm in service to this. I'm in service to this idea that came to me. So what does this idea need to support its life, its next evolution? I'm not in control of my kids. I'm in service to them to be wonderful humans and the best version of themselves as humans as I can be or do. So for me then, how being of service became how to let go of control and embrace being of service, period. Because of all things are energy. And I truly believe we're one big energetic ball of light shattered into a million billion pieces, right? Then we're all in relationship to each other in some way, shape, or form. We're all in relationship to everything in some way, shape, or form. We're either in harmony or disharmony, resonance, or we're working against each other. And there's always much easier, more fluid flow when we find where we resonate and service that instead of perception of control, and that we have control and that we are separate. So this is short and sweet today, but my offering is not that short, I guess. But my offering today is to meditate on service. What does it mean to you, and what is your relationship to it? And how and where you can be of service in your process as a creative, in your process of life, where you're at in the journey of life. How and where can you be more of service, and what does that mean to you? To me, it looks like letting go of any control, perceived control, letting go. And then it all comes back to trust, faith, and love. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear what comes up for you. You can always find me at Magnetize Your Light on all socials and info@magnetizeyourlight.com. If you're looking for a reading or coaching, intuitive coaching, I have all my offerings there at magnetizeyourlight.com. And I will be back in 2 weeks with a very fun and interesting guest, which I'm really looking forward to. I hope this inspired you today. My goal for this is to inspire you on your connection to intuitive self, journey, creativity. And if it did, I'd love to hear. And if you find someone who you think might resonate with this meditation or what I have to offer, please like, share, subscribe. It all helps. All right. Have a magical day. Make some magic today.